Now, in India, the shocking video of two women being paraded naked through a town has understandably sparked outrage. It's worth mentioning that Narendra Modi has just now reacted to that, saying that the guilty will not be spared. Now, it's also dominating the papers. Diptika Laurent is here to take a look.
That's right. This video has garnered a lot of attention. It's a major story in the press this Thursday. A shocking video emerged of these two women being paraded naked through a village, a mother and daughter duo who were weeping and winching in pain. They were stripped naked and paraded by a mob who had actually seized the women from police and then gang raped at least one of them subsequently in a paddy field. Now, this incident and the police complaint took place 2 months ago, yet the first arrest has only been made now after outrage over that video. Now, this is taking place in the northeastern state of Manipur, which has seen terrible clashes between the Mai Tai and Kuki communities, killing dozens of people and displacing tens of thousands of people. It's here it's a focus of the Indian Express today, which is looking at sort of the backstory to this violence. Now, according to the women's statements made to the media outlet, this media outlet here called The Wire, Manipur's police were present during their ordeal, and they basically stood by and did nothing to help the women. One of the women's father and brother was also killed while trying to come to the aid of the two victims. Now, The Wire explains that Manipur has been also under an internet shutdown since early May when ethnic violence broke out, which is one of the reasons why this video is only emerging 2 months later. In any case, it has certainly shaken up Indian society at all levels, even the upper echelons of parliament. NDTV, the Indian broadcaster today, explains that the violence has prompted 15 opposition MPs to file a motion in the upper house demanding that Parliament puts it at the top of the agenda, and that in fact that they cancel what they had planned to talk about today, and that they talk about this ongoing ethnic violence in Manipur. In any case, it's set to be a very tense showdown between opposition MPs and government in Parliament, as you said, as we've said, Narendra Modi finally also breaking his silence and making some comments about that violence there.
All right, we'll move on now, Dipti. There's a lot of focus in the papers today also on Vladimir Putin, who is in South Africa, and he decided not to attend that summit of BRIC nations next month.
Yeah, well, that's right. Vladimir Putin is, of course, under an international arrest warrant. His arrival in South Africa next month for the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, that's a BRICS summit, could have obliged South Africa to arrest him on the spot. Now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said doing this would essentially be a declaration of war against Russia. Well, Vladimir Putin has now pulled out of the summit. And as you see here on the front page of Business Day, Pretoria has solved its Putin headache. Instead, Putin will be sending Sergei Lavrov to attend that BRICS summit. The editor of another South African paper, The Citizen, which is a paper that tends to cater more to the to a sort of a populist readership. They say, well, the decision to not come sounds like the act of a friend who does not want to see its allies suffer, or perhaps it was calculated all along to sort of portray South Africa as an innocent victim in this meddling by the West. In any case, Putin has been hailed by some in South Africa, notably the communist leader, for his statesmanship, for essentially allowing South Africa, as you see in this cartoon here, to jump over the hurdle of what to do if he were to come.
Changing gears now, U.S. country star Jason Aldean has had one of his songs pulled from country music television over claims that its lyrics and message are incendiary.
Yeah, Jason Aldean's song the video for this song was actually dropped back in May. It's called Try That in a Small Town. Now, it features a video with violent news footage interspersed with images from the Maury County courthouse in Tennessee. He sings about essentially big city behavior that he says would not be well received in a small town. The lyrics refer to anti-police protesters, and many have accused Jason Aldean of referring to the Black Lives Matter movement. He has refuted these claims, and many also pointing out the fact that he should know better, being a victim or at least being a witness to gun violence, because indeed he was performing at the music festival in Las Vegas when a gunman killed 58 people in what was the deadliest episode of gun violence in U.S. history. Moreover, that courthouse where he filmed his video also has a very sordid past, a very violent past in itself. This is something that the Washington Post is looking at. It was here in this courthouse that a teenage black man was lynched from the second story of the courthouse back in 1927. That teenage man had been accused of attacking a white teenage girl, which he denied. She was not able to identify him, but it didn't stop a mob from lynching him, and his body was then hung on the main street there for public viewing.
Well, we'll finish on something lighter than I'm not sure if it's positively light or negatively or bizarrely light, but you did indeed find a strange new trend on TikTok that's gone viral this week.
Yeah, very bizarre indeed. It is the focus of this Guardian article today here, Erin. It's a trend that sees people paying for little icons that appear in TikTokers' live feeds who then say something nonsensical in exchange. It's called NPC streaming, non-playable characters or ordinary people playing video game characters. Let's take a look at one such video.
Thanks. Ice cream. Yum, 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 yum. Ooh, Drew, popcorn. Yum, 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 yum. Ooh, a corn dog.
So as you see there, and it borders on the fetishist, I guess, and sort of oscillates between being hilariously entertaining and deeply disturbing. That money aspect of it is also very noteworthy. It's seen as a convergence between sort of erotic work and gaming in the online culture. One TikToker, Pinky Doll, says she's been pocketing thousands of dollars a day for these nonsensical videos.
Sounds like we chose the wrong career, Dipti. That's unfortunately all we have time for. Thank you for joining us here on France 24. Stay tuned. More news and analysis is coming up.